start rubbing it is a vigorous circular motion like. Hey folks, this is Pete at Music Around in St. Charles, Missouri. You can find us at musicaroundstcharles.com, and today we're going to talk about the great cymbal cleaning debate. So what I wanted to do today was discuss the pros and cons of cleaning your cymbals. We know there's two schools of thought in that, and we'll discuss that issue today. Now this is not a brand new cymbal, but it's like new. I love it when people take care of their products like that. But when you get them from the factory, they are like this. They're new, they're shiny, they have all the harmonics that the cymbal is supposed to have. So that's one of the things we'll address is, why should we clean the cymbal? Well, one reason is you get it looking really pretty for good presentation when you're playing live, as well as the fact you're going to get all the harmonics that the cymbal is supposed to produce. That's why I clean cymbals. You know, there's something to be said for patina on older musical instruments. For instance, guitars and things of that nature. It really can add to the value, and if you do something too much to modify that instrument, you could really reduce its value. Well, most cymbals are not really collectible items. They might have more value if they're a vintage Zildjian or something like that and many years old. So there might be a reason to keep a patina on it, but generally I don't really believe that to be true. I want the cymbal to sound like it's supposed to sound when Zildjian shipped it to me, or whatever cymbal manufacturer you're talking about. So that's why I do clean cymbals, and we're going to do a little demo today on what I have found over 50 years of owning drums and cymbals and looking for the perfect cleaning items. I really feel I've found really some good combinations. So let's talk about that now. Okay, now we're going to talk about the actual products I like to use. I've tried so many different polishes and different chemicals to try to clean cymbals. These are the ones that I've ended up with as being the best. First one is Wright's Brass Polish, and although it's not as heavy duty as the Barkeeper's Friend, which we'll talk about in a minute, it's a little easier on the cymbal, a little easier on the ink. And that's another thing we want to talk about, is if your cymbals have ink on them, like the logo of the cymbal brand or whatever, if you're really concerned about keeping the labels super intact, you want to mask them over with masking tape before you clean your cymbal. So that's up to you how detailed you want to do on that. The Wright's Brass Polish, again, a little gentler, and it's very easy to use. The Barkeeper's Friend, heavy duty cleaning. This will get virtually everything off, including the ink, unless again you mask the ink on your cymbals. This is heavier duty, again easy to use, but both products work really well for what you're trying to do. The brass polish, the Wright's Brass Polish, I recommend for cymbals that aren't quite as dirty and have as much decay on them and mung and so on. The Barkeeper's Friend is to really clean everything off. So let's go ahead, we'll start first with the Barkeeper's Friend, because what I've got here is a Zildjian, probably from the 60s. It's pre-ink, it's really green, looks pretty nasty, and we want to get all that stuff off so that we do get the original harmonics that the cymbal was designed to produce. So what we do first is we get the cymbal wet. Like so. And then we want to get our cleaning cloth. And what I recommend for cleaning cloth is a terry towel, 100% cotton, for both processes. So we're going to get that wet too. So now you've got a wet cloth and a wet cymbal, and we sprinkle on the Barkeeper's Friend on the cymbal. And we want to start rubbing it a vigorous circular motion like Frank Zappa would recommend. So just keep going with the grain of the cymbal, round and round. Kind of let it work itself in.
Would you recommend possibly wearing gloves while using Barkeeper's Friend?
I think they recommend using gloves, but I'm a drummer, so I don't worry about such things. But yes,
okay.
We recommend using gloves.
Don't try this at home, kids.
Right. So as you can see, we're starting to get a lot of that old so-called patina, I call it grunge, off the cymbal. Gonna add a little more. Add a little more water. And repeat. I don't recommend using machinery on your cymbals, because depending on what you use for polishing pads and so on, you might actually score the metal, which is not cool. Alright, now we're going to rinse the cymbal. You want to do the cleaning for about a minute. See how she comes out. Compare the back side to the front side, you'll see a lot of improvement. I'm actually going to do this one more time because these are my own cymbals and I'm pretty persnickety. So we'll give it another go. Again, you don't want to leave Barkeeper's Friend on anything too long. I think there's a form of acid in it, so. Rinse again. And I like to dry it off with paper towels, and then I'll use a nice cloth to do the final buffing with it. Alright, just drying with paper towel. Here's buffing it with a nice terry towel. So as you can see in the before and after of things, you've got a much shinier, nice, truly bronze looking cymbal that will create the harmonics. That the cymbal was designed to project. Now, I'm gonna just do a quick Wright's brass polish thing with you, because that is very simple. It works really well, even on dirty cymbals. The Barkeeper's Friend basically just hastens the process. But the Wright's brass polish, you just shake it, put some on the cymbal, take your terry cloth towel, again the vigorous circular motion made famous by Zappa. I actually do this after I clean it with Barkeeper's Friend anyway. It's a really nice polish and not quite as harsh, and yet as you can see, it's still getting a lot of the grunge off that may not be readily visible, not invisible. Something like that.
So we'll get it right.
Yeah. So just keep rubbing the Wright's brass polish till it dries. And you can see now the nice polish has come through, cleaning even more of that so-called patina off.
Yeah, that towel's still coming out pretty black.
Yeah, it just shows you how much grunge can build up over the years on a cymbal, and this is after cleaning with Barkeeper's Friend. So I generally will clean them a couple times, but we wanted to do this for you today to give you a good demonstration of how to really clean your cymbals. I'm going to rinse after the rice brass polish again. Dry it off. And then again, with 100% cotton terry towels, that's what I recommend. Give it that final wipe down. Not a lot of effort, and yet fantastic results. No damage to the cymbal. And that's a cymbal you can be proud of right there.
Excellent.
All right. So in answer to that age-old question, to clean or not to clean, I say clean. So this is Pete at Music Around in St. Charles, Missouri. And you can reach us at musicaroundstcharles.com. Thanks for watching, and keep on drumming.